Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you taking a few moments this busy time of year, and I will try to be respectful of your gift of time. If you want to follow along, we will be in the book of Genesis, chapter number 7, and we're going to look at a big section today, chapter 7, verses 10 through 24. I encourage you to read that when you have a chance. Don't know what I was thinking when I was laying this out and divided up such a big chunk, but I'm going to take a swing at it. And so what we see here is the flood beginning. After the 7 days, the flood came on the earth. And so this is, in these verses, the record of the great flood that God broke loose. The rains came, the waters came up out of the earth, all these things, and began to flood the earth and bring judgment upon man for his immorality, his sin, his violence, all the things that had been described here. And again, man had become so wicked, so evil, that the only godly people left on earth, other than Noah and his family, and they are the ones who are on the ark. It tells us in verse 13 that he takes Noah has his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, his wife and their 3 wives on the ark. That's it. Well, the livestock, obviously, but as far as humans go, they are the only ones that are judged worthy of being on the ark. They're the only ones who chose to be on the ark. As Moses had preached the whole time he was building the ark, preached repentance, and they had ridiculed and laughed until the first raindrops began to fall. And so, again, no one, imagine that, no one following God on all the earth, but this handful of people, these 8 people that are there. That's it, off the whole earth, 8 people. And so, again, this book, again, a lot of people don't know this, but there is a flood narrative. There is a flood story in almost every religion in the world. Almost every religion. There are probably hundreds of stories regarding some type of flood on the earth. Again, they all have some differences. They all have a few changes, things that are done different. But what I think that does prove is that I think it proves the truth, really, of the fact of the flood. That everybody has an account. It's kind of like, if you see somebody, you see there's a car wreck and 10 people watch it, and you go get a report from them. Out of those 10 people, you probably get 12 stories. And so that all these people had taken, I believe, this original story from Genesis, and they had, again, as they had retold the story, it began to get embellished and changed. That this one story had always been around, came from the survivors, from Noah and his family. If you want to read more about that, there's a great book called The Ark on Ararat that has some that delves into this a little bit, that look at the floods and the different traditions. But the real point is here that I kind of ran down a rabbit trail there for a minute, again, on the truth of this story, I think evidenced by the number of people that tell it. But the truth of the story is not as big an issue as the point of the story. And that is, the point of the story is God isn't just put this here for us to know there was a flood. to get us to know, to just give us that information. What he put that story there for us here is to remind us of the judgment of sin, and to understand that God does not tolerate sin. And just as he brought a flood to judge sin here, that he will always judge sin. That God is going to always judge sin. We see here the power of God. We see here salvation from God. That he offers salvation even in the midst of this judgment. The faithfulness of God, that God said judgment is coming. These people were warned repeatedly as Noah built the ark that judgment was coming. And that he warned them that repeatedly. And so as we look at this story, let's not just be fascinated by the fact that, we get caught up sometimes, and I know a lot of people go, and that's great. I encourage you to do so if you have the opportunity, up to see the Ken Ham's reproduction of the ark. We get caught up in the size of it, the building of it, the animals on it, the idea of a worldwide flood, all those things, and those are interesting things. But God didn't give us this story to satisfy our curiosity. He gave us this story to remind us of the judgment of sin. My friends, you can be sure, if you're a believer today and you look around and you see the wickedness of this world, and sometimes we see what's going on and we shake our head and we wonder, how in the world is this going by? This flood reminds us that God judges sin. Also, if you don't know Christ today, it should remind you, and just as Noah preached the whole time he was building that ark, I believe that Noah was standing there as the rains began to fall, begging people at the very last moment to come get on the ark. I'm doing the same thing today. I'm telling you, judgment is coming. The Bible tells us God made the promise after this flood that he'd never flood the earth again, but he didn't promise that he'd never judge this earth again. Sin will be judged. Rest sure of that. We say, we sing an old song, Jesus is coming soon. One day, we're all going to stand before God. You're going to stand before him as one of his children, or you're going to stand before him lost. Your choice. Which will it be? Have a good one. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.